Hey guys, this is Moses here. I wanted to make a video to the Hope Team, everyone who's been a part of it in the past, and everyone who has helped with Hopeful Africa. About a few months ago in November, I sent an email to you guys, and I mentioned about some of the challenges on the place I was at and how I felt things were going and that I needed to step away from the organization and just take some time to myself and evaluate things and see, how things need to be, frankly speaking. And it wasn't easy, but it was an important decision that I needed to make for myself. And first, on that note, I just want to say thank you to everyone who reached out to me. There was a lot of thoughts, a lot of prayers, a lot of encouragement to me. That everyone was very quite supportive, and I just want to say thank you to all you guys for being very understanding of where I was at and where I was coming from. Since that time, I stepped away and we were trying to figure out how the organization would move forward, what was going to happen, and we there's a few ideas I got thrown around. I even talked to some of you, Skype, phone calls, messages about possibly running the organization full time through some support that will come from the outside, so I didn't have to work and have too much on my plate. There was, ideas of maybe getting someone else to do this, trying to figure out just how is it all gonna play out. So I evaluated all that, and I felt for me personally, I couldn't do it at this time, and that I needed someone else to kind of take up the reins or lead it, and not necessarily myself. So through that time, actually, one of the current members, reached out to me, Drew Zahn, and some of you know him, some of you don't know him from the time you involved. But he said he wanted to help keep the organization going. He'd gone to Africa with me last summer and just fell in love with the kids, fell in love with the cause, and just wanted to find a way to still help out. So we proposed this idea, this option to the board last month in February, end of February, and the board voted to close the organization and not go with this plan that we had put on the table. They had reasons to this, reasons that at the time were not so clear to myself, some I was not so sure about, but ultimately they do have the final vote in matters of the organization, and they decided that it's best to dissolve it. It wasn't easy, it was hard, and I thought that maybe this plan with Drew would be a good plan, but of course they thought a little bit otherwise, which is okay, looking back on it. And so um, I want to take this time to inform all of you that the organization will be getting closed here. I've been in conversations with the board members and trying to work with them plans on closing everything up in the next couple of months to wrap up everything for Hopeful Africa. And you know, it, someone asked me the other day, how you deal with this and how are things going for you. And frankly, I think after November last year, um, a lot has changed. A lot of things that I was able to look at and reflect on, that even though I was upset in the moment when they officially voted on this, um, it was still some sort of a closing of a chapter in my life and figuring out that just need to move on to other things. But before that I spent time just reflecting on those 9 years, and there was some really great times. Each and every one of you were part of this. Each and every one of you helped volunteer, helped, from when we were in Valley High School to when we went to Iowa State. We took it to other colleges, other universities, went to Africa with most of you, got to meet my family, stay at my home, go to the schools, play with the kids, just have a ton of fun. We raised lots of money through different events, through different donors, your families, you guys individually. We did lots of things. We helped so many students. Over thousands of students were benefited by you guys' efforts. We truly made a difference. All those 140 students that we impacted through our scholarship program, the over 5,000 books that we provided for our schools, the teachers that we supported every year, all those programs that we did from water, electricity, music, all those things. I mean, you guys made that happen. You guys helped me get behind this and support it to move it to the next stage. So while it might feel like we were not able to push through what was going on and that things needed to come to an end as they are, I don't see it at all as a failure. I actually see it as an amazing experience where you all joined me in this journey. And it was beautiful. It was amazing. And I'm very thankful from the bottom of my heart that each and every one of you were part of this. Each and every one of you took time to believe in something that meant so much to me. And still does mean a lot to me with where I'm at in my life and trying to figure out, what those next steps might be. So I also want to let you know that we're still taking this out to different people. We're notifying people, the right people, as we go about this. I wanted to inform you guys, when it comes from me, it's been hard. I've talked to some people who I've seen face to face, and I want to do that with everyone, but we're so far, different parts of the country, different parts of the world, actually, for that matter. But if you want to talk about it, if you want to, chat more about it, you can call me. We can talk on Facebook, we can Skype, we can Google chat, whatever you want to do. Just let me know. I'm willing to talk more with each and every one of you on this. But I just wanted to get it out to you before you saw it out in another way, because I think it's important that it comes from myself. So, after that meeting that we had in February, we try to figure out what do we do. Is this it? We close the doors and that's it. Myself, Drew, and of course my wife Nyla, trying to figure out what's going to happen. And when everything stopped for the organization, it didn't seem too hard. It was difficult, don't get me wrong, it was difficult in my heart, and I felt hard to stop, fundraising and reaching out to people, going to speak, doing all those things we did, working with each and every one of you. It was hard, do not misunderstand. But the hardest thing was when I understood that the students we were sponsoring were sent home. When I found out that the schools were lacking the funding that we were providing to them. And that kept me up. That kept me up at night. That kept me up trying to figure out what to do. And I had to remove myself, of course, and be okay with it, but I still wasn't fully okay with it. And so, Drew came in and said, what if this is not the end? What if we consider doing something different? What if we worked together and came up with a way to still help out back in Kenya? And so over the last month or so, we've had so many different conversations and talked to different people and trying to figure out how we want to have a next step. And we are actually not going to be fully done with doing what we're doing. Hopefully Africa will end, but the idea and the cause is not going to come to an end. We're actually looking at evaluating how we can start a different nonprofit, how we can come up with a way to help some of those students who are benefiting and help them achieve what they need to achieve. Because at the end of the day, even though I might feel I need to separate myself from the organization, or the board might decide to dissolve the organization, or we might, step away, all of us, from doing what we need to do and, live our lives, which that's fine. The people who suffer the most are the students. The people who suffer the most are the schools back in Kenya. So we're evaluating how to do this, do it to still help, but do it very differently, do it very small, just start with a very small group to try and help out, but still just see, are there people out there who still want to be a part of this and figure out what's the best way to support some of the students back in Africa. Because even if it's just 1 or 5 or 10 kids that we can help, that to me is very important than helping no one. And I feel there's a part that lacks in my heart in these last few months, and I've trying to wrestle with it and figure out how the best way to do it. And I think this next step might be it. So while we wrap up this organization, I want to let you know that there's an opportunity that will be coming up. I'm really open to hearing what you might have to think about this, how we can make things happen, how we can possibly create something better than what we had before. And but if you don't want to be a part of it, that's also okay. That's acceptable. You know, however you feel you want to serve or not serve is totally okay. I just want this videos to inform you what has happened with Hopeful Africa. But since you guys were the people who moved it forward, I cannot keep away from you what we're also looking at possibly doing, and that we are open to hearing your thoughts and ideas on this. So thank you so much for everything you guys have done. As I said, please reach out to me if you want to talk more. If you want to meet, if you're in Des Moines or around this area, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to do that. Thank you so much for what you guys have done for all those years for the kids in Kenya. And I hope that this is not an end to things, but a beginning to something even better than we thought. Thank you.